Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed people only claim their zodiac sign when it excuses their behavior? That's the Gemini in me. Girl, he a Taurus. You know how they are. I don't deal with cancers. That's that two-faced Gemini energy. We hear it all the time. But what if I told you? It's not really astrology? So go ahead. Put on your scuba gear because we're about to take a deep dive. Welcome to the Fishbowl with Jade, and thank you for being here. I don't take your presence lightly, truly, because time is something you can never get back. So the fact that you're choosing to sit with me for a moment means something. Now get comfortable, because today we're diving into something you've definitely seen, probably said, and maybe even believed. Astrology gives people something we all naturally look for: identity and belonging. It gives us language to explain ourselves without fully unpacking who we are. Instead of saying, I struggle with consistency or I have trust issues, it becomes, that's just the Virgo in me. It feels lighter, it feels accepted, and most importantly, it feels understood without accountability. And then there's the psychological side. We notice what confirms what we already believe and ignore what doesn't. So if someone tells you Geminis are two-faced, the moment you meet one who switches up, it sticks. It reinforces the belief. But the times a Gemini is loyal, consistent, and grounded, those moments get overlooked. Not because they didn't happen, but because they didn't fit the story. There's also something called the Barnum effect, and this one is powerful. It's the idea that people accept general personality descriptions as uniquely true for them. You love deeply, but protect yourself when hurt. You struggle between logic and emotion. That's not a zodiac thing. That's a human thing, but when it's packaged under a sign, it feels personal, like it was written just for you. And let's be real for a moment. Sometimes astrology becomes a shield. It becomes a way to explain behavior without addressing it. I'm just like that. That's how we are. But at what point does that stop being self-awareness and start becoming self-excuse? Because here's the truth. Your sign might influence how you see yourself, but your choices define who you actually are. Now, let me make this real for a second. I used to say, I don't deal with cancers. Not once, but after dating two cancers back to back. And in my mind, I had already made it make sense. See, that's how they are. But was that really astrology? Or was I reinforcing a pattern I already believed in? Was I seeing them for who they actually were, or filtering them through what I expected them to be? Because if I already labeled them, did they ever really have a fair chance? And let's flip it. How many times have people labeled you before they even got to know you? Now, let's be fair, because if we're going to talk about zodiac signs, we have to talk about the layers. Let's talk about cancers. According to astrology, cancers are known for emotional intelligence and empathy. They feel deeply, not just their own emotions, but yours too. They can walk into a room and sense when something is off without a word being said. And when they love with intention. There's a loyalty there, a devotion that doesn't come easy to everyone. They create spaces that feel like comfort, like peace, like you can finally exhale. But every strength has a shadow. That same emotional depth can turn into moodiness or withdrawal when they're hurt. Instead of expressing it, they retreat. That loyalty can become overprotectiveness or emotional dependency, and that connection to the past, it can turn into holding on to things that should have been released a long time ago. Criticism and confrontation don't always come easy because when you feel everything deeply, even correction can feel personal. None of that makes someone just a Cancer. Those are tendencies, not decisions, because emotional intelligence can become communication or silence. Loyalty can become support or control. Sensitivity can become awareness or avoidance. So when someone says, that's just how Cancers are, maybe the better question is that their nature or their choice? Now let's shift the lens and talk about Taurus, according to astrology. Taurus is known for stability. They have a strong work ethic and a level of perseverance that doesn't shake easily. When they commit, they stay. They also have a deep appreciation for beauty, comfort, and experience. They know how to create a life that feels good, peaceful, intentional. And when it comes to decisions, Taurus is grounded, practical, often the calm in situations where everyone else is reacting. But every strength has a shadow. That same grounded nature can turn into resistance, a reluctance to change, even when change is necessary. That love for comfort can become indulgence. And forgiveness? Taurus doesn't forget easily. When trust is broken, it takes time. Not because they want to hold on, but because rebuilding doesn't come quickly for them. And routines, they thrive in them until those routines become a trap. None of that makes someone just a Taurus. Those are tendencies, not decisions, because perseverance can become consistency or stagnation. Comfort can become peace or limitation. Stability can become strength or fear of change. So when someone says that's just how Taurus is, maybe the better question is, are they grounded or are they stuck? Now let's bring this into a real relationship. Taurus and Cancer, according to astrology. On paper, it looks like balance. Taurus brings stability. Cancer brings emotional depth. Taurus is grounded. Cancer is intuitive. It should work, but in real life, this is where it gets complicated. Taurus loves through consistency and action. They show up, they provide, they build. Cancer loves through emotion and connection. They want to feel seen, understood, felt. So now you've got two people who love deeply, but don't speak the same language. Taurus says, I'm here. I'm doing everything right. Cancer says, but I don't feel you. And that is the disconnect. Because Taurus processes practically, Cancer processes emotionally. When Cancer withdraws, Taurus may not chase, they may stand still or shut down. When Taurus becomes fixed, Cancer feels distance. Now, Cancer is asking, why are you so distant? And Taurus is asking, why are you so emotional? And the truth is, nobody is wrong. They're just different. Now, let's talk about conflict. Cancer may withdraw when hurt, go quiet, internalize. Taurus may hold on to the issue and refuse to move past it. One pulls away, one holds on, and nothing gets resolved. Both value security, but they protect it differently. Cancer protects it emotionally. Taurus protects it practically. So the question becomes, is that balance or is that friction? Because when it works, it feels like home, safe, grounded, understood. But when it doesn't, it feels like you're standing next to someone and still not being met where you are. So now let me ask you something. Is it really that Taurus and Cancer don't work? Or is it that they don't understand how the other one loves? Because at some point, it stops being astrology and starts being awareness. So before you say, that's just how I am, ask yourself this. Did your sign make that choice? Or did you? Because growth doesn't happen in labels. It happens in accountability. And in this fishbowl, everything is visible, not just what you say you are, but how you show up. This is the fishbowl with Jade, where we stop just labeling behavior and start understanding it. Thank you for sitting in the fishbowl with me. We went deep, we unpacked, we felt. Now it's time to decompress and rise back to the surface. Until next time. Stay classy, stay curious, and stay ever evolving. This is The Fishbowl with Jade, streaming on Spotify and Amazon Music. Search Jade Mills.